In the paranormal world, evil spirits or demonic entities often attack people. Upon inspection, they find red marks or scratches that usually come in threes, indicating they had just been attacked. While potentially frightening for the victim, the report won't pass scientific scrutiny, as they can't prove they didn't put the scratches there themselves. But I might just have such proof. During an experiment when I was recording my sleep, I captured clear images of an injury to my shoulder that had occurred sometime between the time when I went to bed the night before and when I woke up the next morning. So was it a demonic attack, the Watchers, or was it the result of aliens taking specimens for analysis? To discover what happens to us during the night, I have been recording my sleep for the past 4 years with night vision cameras and digital audio recorders. In this video, we will explore the evidence from one night of the experiment, evidence that suggests I am not the only one living here. While sleeping, I was visited by unknown entities who examined me, took specimens from me, and sometimes injured me. Does the evidence support this hypothesis? Other voices talked about a Dr. Lightman, and they needed a refrigerator. Could that have been to store specimens or medicine? This is what we'll be examining. These 3 holes are from arthroscopic surgery from several days earlier, and were healing nicely. Through the night, I felt pain and recorded voices that said, "Have him look up." The following nights, while nobody was home, kitchen and dining room lights inexplicably turned on and off. So there are 2 objectives. The hypothesis is that discarnate entities cause the injuries, so I need to establish their presence in the room. The second objective is to ascertain the time frame when the injuries occurred and determine the cause. This is the setup with 2 cameras. It was more comfortable to sleep here after shoulder surgery 4 days earlier. I wear a CPAP mask, which is extremely helpful, but not at all attractive. I'm asleep and for some reason started using sign language. Now I know some American Sign Language signs, and I wondered, could I have been seeing and speaking to entities? Well, that doesn't mean actual entities. I could have been dreaming. With only one hand, these signs are modified. All of you and I are talking together. G and I are together. G and, well, half the sign for eternity or always. G and G are there and here and some unknown sign. Next, one of the soft strings peeks out. It's hard to tell if any of the hand movements and breathing are causing it, or something unseen is causing it to move. Now it popped out. It's a soft string that doesn't seem to have any tension it needs to pop up on its own. But for now, this is just a data point. We have to keep an open mind and not jump to conclusions. EVPs provide more clues, however, most of these EVPs are Group C and difficult to hear. From here until 7 a.m. I stayed covered. The injury happened during that 3-hour window. I did not scratch my shoulder. Later that morning I went to the hospital and was admitted for 3 nights. A lot of tests were run to see if I had had a seizure or some other normal medical event that caused the injury. While I was gone, though, my house was empty and locked up, and that evening the DVR started recording on a schedule. I was surprised to see the kitchen lights were all on, since I went to the hospital in the daytime. At 3:28 in the morning, though, some of the lights turned off. This is solid evidence of the presence of a disincarnate entity. The house was empty, locked up, and the lights have regular switches without timers or motion detectors. At 3:42 the lights came back on. Then all of the lights went out a couple of minutes later. Now 2 of these lights have switches that are 10 feet apart, making it impossible for a human to get to at the same time. Plus 1 of the switches is in view of the camera. Then an eerie light panned around the room as if looking for something or somebody. These aren't car lights, as the blinds to the kitchen were closed, and no such lights have ever been seen before in the kitchen in the 8 years I've lived here. At 4:45, it ended. It happened again, briefly, the next night. The light is clearly coming from somewhere inside the house. I have continuous video of my shoulder, and while it was covered by a sheet for a while, my right hand can be accounted for at all times. At this point, little depressions can be seen on the shoulder. They are probably muscle spasms from the shoulder healing, but I can't rule out the possible presence of a disincarnate entity squeezing on it. Here I found a violent spasm. Could this have caused the injury? My conclusion is that there is proof of discarnate entities being in my home, both during and after this event. They talked in violent terms, which could explain the injuries. There is insufficient evidence to say whether they were watchers, spirits, or aliens. However, I believe there's overwhelming proof that the violent muscle spasm caused the injuries. I was not attacked. Over the past 4 years, these visitors have been consistently concerned with my health and wellness, consulting with doctors and trying to help me, so this night was not unusual. I have routinely had nightmares and out-of-body astral travel interactions with entities. In the recordings, we can hear not only my voice, but all of the entities' voices as well. I'm having a discussion with them. The DVR failed, but here's what it looked like earlier. I'm the only one in the room. Where did these other voices come from? I'm really only guessing, but when we have our out-of-body experiences and astral travel, we are still connected to our bodies, so that as the body starts waking up, the spirit knows it needs to return. My spirit interacted with the other spirits, and the information was shared with my body. I thought I finally had proof of spirits causing injuries, but I was wrong. Being able to debunk evidence and freely admit when I'm wrong is critical to the integrity of this study. Here I have another piece of evidence that I finally debunked. In many of my videos, there's this mysterious thumping. Because the thumps were so loud and the cause of it so subtle, it took a long time to find it. Watch this. My heels are pressed down very hard on the sheet. As the heel slipped a little bit, it made quite a loud thumping sound. Watching the video without sound, it didn't look like that small motion could make that much of a sound. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments any thoughts you might have, and remember, they're watching you too. Cheers.